They say there's springtime in the Rockies, but I prefer springtime in Paris, Tennessee, with our good friend Jimmy Williams. Jimmy, this magnificent pink behind you.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Annette, that pink up there is beauty bush, commonly called beauty bush. It's Kochwitzia. It's a German plant named after a German Kochwitz. And it is just a wonderful old-timey shrub. It's about 15 feet tall there, and it'll get that big. I've got several around in the woods, and it blooms in quite a bit in the shade, too.
There's no denying along in this border what the chartreuse of spring does and how it accentuates what you have in this border here. What is this magnificent?
This Chardonnay Pearls Ducia, one of my favorite small shrubs. This is about maximum size, and it's been here for several years now. And the bloom is great, but Chardonnay Pearls, the buds look like little pearls. They're round and white, and then they open out into the open bloom. But the chartreuse, of course, is for the foliage, and I love chartreuse in the border, especially in the spring. It's an eye-catching color. Yeah. It's a very eye-catching color, and
it stays that color all year. It's not like some of the other things that loses.
That's right. It doesn't turn green. It stays that way till fall.
Well, and just look at the blue.
The Spanish bluebells, I think the colors go great together. Spanish bluebells, I've got a lot of them, a lot of bulbs in this border that have already bloomed, and others that'll still come. But that particular combination I like.
Here's one of my favorite blues right here.
That's all over Middle Tennessee in the wild, the local spring phlox, Phlox divaricata, woodland phlox, Phlox divaricata, with the, again, chartreuse of the little creeping jenny.
Yeah, look at how fresh and new that one is.
This one's about over. But that's right, and they're toward the end of their life.
Now this is beautiful pansy.
I want to point out these pansies here, Annette, because they're hard to find, at least in our area. Now down at the Jackson Experiment Station, Jason Reeves, you've been there, he has these at their fall sales. These have been here since last fall. I put them in the fall. I think there's one flat in here. I love, this is Morpho, M-O-R-P-H-O, and it has a little monkey face and so on, like the old-timey violas. It may be a viola, I'm not sure.
Well, I was going to say, is this sometimes called a Johnny Jump Up?
Yeah, the smaller forms are called Johnny Jump Up.
But this is not?
And this is not. This is actually, and this one won't seed and come back. I used to have Johnny Jump Ups all over the place. As a matter of fact, they got to be almost a pest. But and then the columbine, the purple columbine, goes well with these colors. And these colors in here that are in here now, pastels, virtually all pastel. And this is one of my favorite. This is a geranium. Most of the potted geraniums, you call them, are actually pelargoniums. This is geranium striatum. You see, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but little striations of red in the pink there.
Stripes.
Geranium sanguineum striatum. And it's a very wonderful, it blooms on till June. It'll bloom for 2 months.
So I'll tell you something I see that I like about this variety. I have the other one, the blue.
Yeah.
And it's so wild and big and it falls over. This is very controllable, isn't it?
It's growing out of the rock wall here, growing out. I've poked it in there when it's young. I've got quite a few of those around, and they divide easily, and you can move them nearly any time.
Wow, and this little dianthus right here.
Dianthus also rooted in the wall.
The ending point of this border, pink plants over here. The top one there, this is a hardy glad?
It's a hardy gladiola, and it's plenty winter hardy. And matter of fact, it can be a little bit invasive by seeding, but I don't know the species on it, but you can buy them by mail order at the bulb houses. Right. This is one of the hand-me-down verbenas. Now, you know, Homestead Purple is the one everybody, and I've never had much luck with most of the cultivated varieties returning for me past winter. Okay. But this is, I've had it here for years, and it's Verbena canadensis, I'm pretty sure, which is a species.
Marvelous. Okay. Species. There's excitement here. It's spring and excited. I want to go into some other areas.
Okay, let's go.
Towering over us is a good example of springtime in Paris, Jimmy.
Yeah.
This azalea back here.
Yeah. Yeah, many people wouldn't recognize it as an azalea. The pink behind us, it's about over. You can see the bloom is going out. But it is from Henry County here. There's a huge plantation of them here in Henry County, pink and white. We'll look at the white in a minute. But yes, and they started from little sprouts that I've got.
How did you acquire your first plant?
The pinks are not as plentiful as the white ones, I will say. But there were some pink ones there and white too in this area. And they clear cut that area a few years ago and absolutely demolished acres of them. And it just made me sick. So I went out there and rescued 2 or 3 sprouts. One of them was this pink, and the other one is this white one right here.
Oh, and this is what we smell?
That's what you're smelling. It's so fragrant, this white form. Azalea canescens, I guess they are. And they are, as I say, and in Middle Tennessee, their woods are full of them in places.
That's over 15 foot high.
Yeah, oh yeah, they get much bigger than most people would realize. You don't often see them that big.
Well, and because it's native, you don't really ever have to do anything to it.
I don't do anything to it. It's send out some dead growth now and then.
That's right, and
maybe.
You know what? It's the right plant in the right place, therefore, no worry.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I love the brightness of this color on this azalea, Jimmy.
Well, this orange or red almost azalea, and I don't know, it's not native to this county. In fact, I'm not sure it's a hybrid of some of the native type azaleas, but I don't know exactly what the name of it is. But I love this plant here. There's three of them in there.
Now, some of the deciduous azaleas, they bloom with absolutely no foliage. Have these lingered on and got interrupted in their blooming?
No, this is normal for this variety. Some of them absolutely do bloom before the leaves come out. This one is an exception in that regard, in that it does bloom after the leaves.
Okay.
Which, you know, I don't know, it may be more, I don't know which way would be more spectacular actually.
Either way, I'll take it. Now, Jimmy, you were sharing something interesting with me as we were walking over. This azalea is called
Nathan B. Forrest. There's a series of these azaleas, deciduous azaleas, not evergreen, that are named for Confederate generals.
Oh.
I like to have this one because I'm related on my grandmother's side to Nathan Bedford Forrest, distantly. But anyway, the buds, when they come out, if you can pick that up, how beautiful that dark red is, and then mid bloom is about here, and then they open on out. This one's just opening up.
I call that burnt orange.
It is. That's burnt orange,
just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Jimmy, you are always so gracious to allow us to come and visit in your garden.
My pleasure.
Well, and we're sitting here on a bench that actually means a lot to you. And we were discussing lichens, and some people would want to get rid of those, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
They actually are protecting this outer, aren't
Took
they?
me 25 years to get it that way.
Yes, and your gardens are always in rare form, regardless. It's always such an honor, even to end it right here on this bench with you.
Annette, let me just expound on that, I know as well as you do that just not too long from now, we're not talking about 40 years from now, won't be long till I won't be here to tend to this. And the next person coming in is going to bulldoze most of this stuff down to the ground and plant grass back in here. They're not going to fool with it. And anybody, there's got to be somebody that's just really crazy like me.
Well, we like crazies.
I've been here 43 years at this place, and it's taken nearly all of that 43 years. There are a few things that I could get by and modify a little bit to stretch it on out. One thing is I've done, and I told Troy a couple of years ago, one thing I've done is put more shrubs in these borders.
I understand.
They're less work than perennials, but it's quite a bit less satisfaction overall.
Well,
but I have already done that.
This visit in the spring is very wonderful, and it's just it just revives us to see. And no matter what last year had, it's all here, and I've enjoyed my spring and terrace.
Well, thank you for being here. I enjoy having you.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.